What's up, everyone? It's Dave, and we're back for our next reading of the New Testament. For those who've been following along, you know that we are in the book of 1 Corinthians. I am at the office today, so I'll be reading off of my computer screen with Bible.com, a source that I have recommended in every one of these New Testament videos. So if you don't have access to a Bible, but you have access to a computer or your smartphone, because we know 99.999% of you all have your smartphones, you can download the YouVersion app and then just read right along. So supposedly it only takes 12 minutes of listening to the Bible every single day to get through the Bible in a year. It's pretty cool. So we are in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 today. We'll be reading out of the New King James Version. I only read out of the King James Version or the New King James Version. The New King James Version basically just removes the these and thous and such and replaces them with New English words, I guess we'll call it. But other than that, I haven't found any really big differences between the two versions, the King James and the New King James Version. There is the one verse where it talks about in the King James Version, it says, nothing is faith, hope, and charity, and then every version after that changes to faith, hope, and love. And I believe that charity is much, much stronger than love because it takes a conscious act to do it. So I do like the King James Version for that particular verse. But we're going to be in the New King James Version today. I may switch it up and go to the King James. We'll see. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Definitely do not like the newer versions that are out there. So the other translations, I feel they just take too much away from God's word. So, all right. So 1 Corinthians chapter 13, we're going to talk about the greatest gift. Then we're going to talk about, that's it, 13 verses long today, so we may do another reading later on today. So we may do 2 today. My focus, I've noticed a lot, obviously I have to focus on my job out here, it's very important, but my focus has not been on God's word, and I felt a pull for that last night right before bed. So here we go. Let's get back into this and share the gospel of Jesus Christ, because that's what we're here on earth to do. Alright. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I have become sounding brass or a clanging cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, so that I could remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, but have not love, it profits me nothing. Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself. It is puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails, but whether there are prophecies, they will fail. Whether there are tongues, they will cease. Whether there is knowledge, it will vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect has come, then that which is in part will be done away. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see in a mirror, dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know just as I am known. Also now abideth faith, hope, love. These 3, but the greatest of these is love. So I'm going to do something here. You can stick around if you like. I'm going to now read this because I didn't even pay attention to the fact that this is actually the verse of the chapter and book that I was talking about earlier. So stick around if you like. I'm going to read the King James Version of this exact same passage. All right. So here we go now, those 13 verses of the King James Version. Let's see the difference here. All right. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity, it profits me nothing. Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up, does not behave itself unseemingly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know even as I am known. And now abideth faith, hope, charity. These three, the greatest of these is charity. I still love faith, hope, and charity. You know, you can love something. I love my dog, you know. And love is definitely strong. It is a strong emotion. It's very deep, you know, very, very deeply rooted. But charity, in my opinion, it definitely takes that extra step. You got to go beyond loving something, beyond loving someone, to take something that is your own and to give it to somebody else. So I definitely love the King James Version of this chapter a lot more. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you got something from it today. And we're going to keep doing this. We're going to go all the way through Revelations, so I hope you all stick around. Currently, from Location X, God bless.
When life keeps falling and wonder where he is in all this mess, he's right there to guide you, unseen, you're not alone.